Alright, so true story. My mom actually tried to make me take this lipstick off before I started filming. I am 22 years old, lady. You can't tell me what to do. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Karen, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This is my first tag in a really long time, and I've seen so many people doing this one lately. So since it's almost the end of June, I figured I should probably get on it if I was gonna do it. I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm just gonna go right ahead and get started on the questions. Question 1. What is the best book you've read so far in 2017? It was actually really tough for me to pick like the best book overall, but I'm going to have to go with Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. This, of course, is his collection of essays that have to do with growing up in South Africa. And it was honestly one of the most educational, hilarious, and empowering books I have ever read. This was actually the very first true book review I did on my channel, and I absolutely loved talking about this book, so go check that out if you haven't yet. Question 2. What is the best sequel you've read so far in 2017? So I haven't read any true sequels yet this year, but this one is kind of a spin-off type one, so I figured that probably counts as an answer to this question, and that is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them from the Hogwarts Library. As a lot of you probably know, my big goal for this year is to finally read the entire Harry Potter series, and part of that is also reading all of the books belonging to the Hogwarts Library. And this book was not only so fun to read about all the different monsters and things in this world, but it had some really cute tidbits that relate back to the books, so I really liked reading this one. Question 3. What is a new release you haven't read yet but want to? So I believe I mentioned this book in my very first haul video on my channel, and that is Winter Song by jae-jones. I might have explained it a little bit incorrectly in that video, but it is basically a retelling of Labyrinth. Being the big David Bowie fan that I am looking forward to reading this so bad. I just haven't been able to quite get to it yet, so I'm really hoping I can read this sometime soon. Question 4. What is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I am actually really looking forward to Sleeping Beauties by Stephen and Owen King. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you'll probably know that Stephen King is one of my absolute favorite authors. I'm not only excited to read about this new story, which is about what happens if all the women suddenly fall asleep and never wake up, but since this is a collaboration with his son, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works out for them. Question 5. What is your biggest disappointment from this year? And this was actually mentioned in my May book haul, and it is 1996 by Sarah Peters. This is a collection of poetry, and when I saw all the different themes that it was supposed to tackle, I was really excited for this book. But then I took the time to read it recently, and it just did not meet up to my expectations at all. I was actually a little bit bored reading some of the poems, and some of them didn't really make much sense to me, but that might just be me because I know there's lots of people that absolutely love this. And I am a big fan of poetry, but this just wasn't for me. Question 6. What has been your biggest surprise? And for that question, I'm going to have to go with Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. So this also is a collection of poetry, and it's been super hyped up, and I honestly have to say I was not disappointed by this one at all. And I was actually really surprised by how much I ended up loving this one. I found this one to be really emotional and at times pretty relatable. Even though there's a lot of critics regarding Rupi's style of writing, I actually happen to like it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does next. Question 7. Favorite new author, either debut or new to you? And for that one, I'm gonna have to go with Margaret Atwood. So my last video was actually a review of The Handmaid's Tale, which I absolutely loved. I went into this with a bit of a bias since Margaret Atwood is supposed to be one of the top Canadian authors, but I absolutely loved her style of writing and was totally envious of it. And she is quickly becoming one of my new favorite authors. Question 8. Who is your newest fictional crush? And I don't really have a lot of fictional crushes, so for this one, I'm actually going to have to go with Nick from The Handmaid's Tale. I just really liked him as a character and a lot of the things he does for Offred, so if I'm gonna have to pick someone, it's going to be him. Question 9, newest favorite character. And apologies for some repetition, but Offred is definitely my new favorite character. I just loved how true she was and her willingness to live, and I could really feel a lot of empathy towards everything that she was going through. Even if what she was going through was happening in some far-fetched world that I hope never happens in real life. Question 10. A book that made you cry. And for this one, I'm going to have to go with 15 Dogs by Andre Alexis. This, of course, was the winner of Canada Reads this year, and I have to say it definitely did not disappoint. A lot of the things that happen in this book really speak to the human condition, and I just could not recommend it enough. Question 11, a book that made you happy. So for this one, I'm gonna have to go with Dear Ijewele, or A Feminist Manifesto and 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I just felt very inspired and very empowered the entire time I was reading this book. And the great thing about it too is that it really spoke to the true definition of feminism. I think in today's society, a lot of people tend to believe that feminism is not what it used to be, but I can promise you, coming from me and this book, that there are definitely still true to the definition feminists out there. Chimamanda actually took the time to talk about things like truly making sure that, husband and wife are truly equal to each other, and really emphasizing that we just want all the same things that men currently have. And I really love that about Chimamanda, that she actually took the time to throw that in there so that everybody knows, like, hey, we're not hating on anyone. So this book made me really happy to read. Question 12, favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year? So I haven't really seen any films that were actually book adaptations this year. I have been mostly just watching TV shows that were. And so far, I'd have to say that while 13 Reasons Why and The Handmaid's Tale are definitely up there, my absolute favorite is A Series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix. I did an entire review explaining why I loved that show so much. It just did a absolutely perfect job of capturing the essence of one of my absolute favorite book series of all time, so I really recommend that show if there's anybody out there who has not watched it yet. Question 13, favorite review you've written this year, or if you're a booktuber, favorite video you have done so far this year. And I'm going to say that while this book was definitely not one of my favorites for the year so far, I absolutely loved the video I made for it, and that is The Gospel of Poppy. By the way, do you guys like my ring? Anyways, I had a lot of fun filming this video, and the response that I got to it was so great. A lot of people discovered my channel through that video and have been very supportive of my booktube videos ever since. And just a lot of the compliments and gratitude I got from people for making this video felt really good too. I definitely credit this video to helping me get to my current status in the booktube community today, so I do not regret doing this video one bit. Question 14, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. So for that, I'm going to have to go with my house edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I have the Ravenclaw edition here, which is absolutely gorgeous. And for those of you that have been following my channel, you'll know that the very first book I actually read this year was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So I felt that I really wanted to get this book while it was just released to really celebrate that. And it is actually just so pretty, and I love the edges, and I just could not stop staring at it when I got it. It's just perfect. And question 15, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? Well, I did kind of answer that towards the beginning of this video, but I need to finish reading this lovely book series right here. As I mentioned earlier, I am trying to read the entire Harry Potter series this year, and I was doing pretty good at the very beginning of the year, but then my priorities just got misplaced, and I just got so busy that I fell behind. So now I really want to get back on track with this, and I just found out that my family is actually going to be taking a trip to Universal Studios and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at the end of August. So I really would like to at least be halfway through the series before we go away, so I don't feel like an imposter while I'm there. So wish me luck. So that is it for the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and feel free to leave a comment below if you want to tell me how this year has been going for you, or how you feel about any of the books I've mentioned in this video. And if you'd like to see more bookish videos from me, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Again, thank you for watching. As always, spread love and don't be a troll. Bye!